Do either of you have like an interesting topic to talk about?
Yeah, the fact that your lips are like 30 seconds behind your voice.
Yeah, how do you do that? Have you been taking like ventriloquism classes or something?
Pretty
It honestly is impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it's called planned obsolescence.
Ha 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 ha.
That was
No.
funny.
So the question, okay, so I have a topic, and it's just like all the shit that's been going down with Pokemon cards. Do you think that like, is this like it almost feels like penny stocks and day traders, how like people like pump and dump, you know what I mean? Like right now you had like Gary V like talk about like in the last 3 years how big like sports cards are going to be, and like as his following has gotten bigger, so have sports cards, and it's now the same thing that's been going on with like Pokemon cards. Like Logan Paul bought like a box of Pokemon cards for $200,000 and like had this like whole oat box like unboxing, and there's like single cards that go for like 100 grand, like the like original like whatever series.
Holographic Charizard and shit. It was like 75K.
Yeah, but like, do you think that's because of like these famous people are getting into it, and that's just like pumping the market up? And it's like, like I just wonder like how much.
Definitely, it's not hurting, but I mean, Gary Vee hasn't gotten that much bigger. Like he was as big as he was massive when this started, so like.
Yeah, but with sports card collecting,
but he's definitely getting a lot more people into it.
That's what I'm saying, though, is like his platform big enough to change the platform of sports cards. That like if 10%, like he realized that 10% of his platform to invest in sports cards will be tripling the like sports card like trading in general, and just kind of took advantage of that.
I feel like that's might not be his main intent, but I think he's definitely cognizant of the effects of him saying, you guys should get into sports cards. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be fucking wild if he like didn't think that.
Well, and then I guess sports cards are different than Pokemon cards, but sports cards, at least, like there's inherent value behind like a rookie card of someone who like, he's saying like, oh, I think you should get like Luka Doncic or someone. I don't know basketball at all, but like, let's like you get that guy, and like, he says that because he does believe that he's going to have a good career, but he could be wrong, and then that card could be like worthless. But I think like that's the difference with sports cards, is like he's like Charizard isn't going away, like there's not going to be like a new Charizard that's going to be worth more than like the 1999 like original version.
Yeah.
But like the sports cards, like the rookie cards, are you kind of betting on the fact that like this player maybe in the next year is going to have a breakout season, and you sell their card for more, or they're going to have an incredible career and the card's going to be worth 100 times what you pay.
Yeah, I think I saw that on like Twitter. I think someone like retweeted something Gary Vee said, and he literally said, he's like, Pikachu doesn't tear their ACL. Like Pikachu isn't going to tear an ACL, so like that's why Pokemon cards are worth money.
But they also might not raise in value as drastically as a sports card,
Yeah.
Because if you have
exactly.
fucking Joey D'Amelio's rookie card and I do nothing with my life, well, then it's fucking whatever. But if you have, Lucas Zena's and he's fucking, soccer player extraordinaire, well, that's going to fucking become something. But like you said, Pikachu's always going to be Pikachu, which is like, I think it's a safer bet, but it's a less volatile one. I think the only spikes that come in it, like the major spikes, are when like the Logan Pauls and like the people start shitting themselves. Because obviously there's already a market there. I'm pretty sure, I don't know like the exact dynamics of it, but like, let's say there was like 20 packs of cards in that one booster set. He sold each of them for like 11
grand.
So it's not like people are like, oh shit, Logan Paul's buying them, I'm going to drop 11 grand. It's like people were already there willing to buy them. And like a lot of them were, I was watching a video on the guy who got the Charizard, and he was like, all right, no, you can get the Charizard. He got like a Gyarados, but he was already like an avid like Pokemon collector, So I think it's just like, it's definitely good for the overall Pokemon card game. Like not game, but like investment strategy that like these big dudes are, and like Logic bought like a $200,000 box now, and like people did it. Yeah, dude.
But that's what I'm saying, is I feel like there's gonna be so much more hype because at least with those, there is literally like a numbered market, and like as people buy those boxes and open them, there's less and less. Like think about how few like pristine boxes of Pokemon cards there would be from 1999. Like it's nuts. Like that's like a very small like a very small I forget what the term that they use is, like in circulation, number in circulation.
Yeah. Well, I think like that's just like the driver of the value, whereas like the sports, like the person is the driver, whereas like the scarcity is the driver for like the Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or whatever the fuck else it is, you know.
I think that like I feel like Magic though for a long time was like the one with the expensive card, like the Black Lotus. But then in like the last like 3 years, Pokemon just like took over the scene on like the expensive cards, being like those old Charizards and shit. But maybe it's just like because I didn't follow it at all that I don't know.
Magic's
Magic is just like nerdy now, whereas Pokemon is like vintage in a sense. Like everybody's like Magic, like if you played Magic, like everybody's like that's nerdy as fuck. Whereas Pokemon is like cool. It's like culturally relevant.
I mean, yeah, I think that's accurate. I think like, you know, hundreds of millions of people know Pokemon, maybe millions of people know Magic.
Yeah. Well, and dude, you think about it, like Pokemon, I don't know like Magic the Gathering at all, but it's like they might have this, but like Pokemon have like, dude, they come out with new fucking games. They come out with like dude, I was playing Pokemon Go for like the longest time. You know, I haven't bought like a new like Pokemon Ruby or whatever the Sword and Shield or whatever the hell the new ones are.
Yeah.
Like they're generationally still relevant, like or like introduced relevant to newer generations. So like my kid's kid might be playing some version of Pokemon. And if my kid's kid is wealthy, like that first edition Charizard card from the fucking 1990s, like though it won't be nostalgic in the sense that like he played with it as a kid, like the actual card, like it's still going to hold value to them. Whereas something like Magic the Gathering or like those types of games, I think it's just slimmer odds that's
it's relevance.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think it's like now, I think it's one of those like things that, you know, now we're in 2020 and the kids who like were playing Pokemon as kids now are like in their 20s and 30s and have money and can like use it as like a thing to like invest in more.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know,
but I don't know if people are using it like, dude, I wonder what's like the breakdown of people using it as like an investment vehicle versus like the people that are just like collectors, you know? I feel like there's a lot more collectors there than
I feel like collectors do it too, therefore invest. Because like you buy cards that you think are going to go up in value more over a certain period of time, and then you sell them when you think they've reached their value, and then you buy the next card that you think is going to go up in value more.
Yeah. I feel like there's also like a segment of collectors that are like, I want like the fucking rarest of the Pokemon cards, like because I love Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, of course, but that's not like the driver of the market though. Like the market is there because there's people that are gonna make money off of it.
Yeah.
Like that's why, I mean, dude, trading cards got so big because there's so many people like that were like flipping sneakers like Supreme and Jordans and shit like that, like clothing and like drops, and then all of a sudden they like that's not as much of a thing anymore. Like it's just harder. Like the margins have gotten squeezed. It's way harder to get 10 pairs of the newest Jordan that's coming out to like flip it for thousands of dollars. But like sports cards, you could buy 1,000 like Luka Doncic rookie cards, and then like, you know, in a couple months he could go off, and all of a sudden you made like fucking 10 grand.
Yeah, like what if he won the championship, right? It's funny though that you say that, Shane, because like you're right. Like literally on the back of Pokemon cards, it says Pokemon trading cards. Like trading is in the name of the like what the actual thing is. Like they're meant to be traded. So it kind of makes sense that there ends up being a market for it.
Well, dude, it's FIFA Ultimate Team. Like
in real life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real life Ultimate Team.
Yeah, 100%. That was my thought too. Okay. I don't want to like just kill the fucking shit out of this topic. So
yeah. So how about this? Switch gears. Did you guys see the fucking Kanye West for president video? His first fucking public release about it?
No, I didn't see the video.
I did not.
Dude.
I saw his merch drop. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the video with the fucking American flag playing in the background.
No, I haven't seen that.
Bro, I can't tell if like Kanye West is like a fucking nut job, if he's like on a higher level, like thinking about like self-promotion and shit like that. You know what I mean? If he's on a lower level, it's just like wild. I'm like, I can't tell. I can't get a read on the guy. It's weird.
All right. Can you guys see, is this full screen?
Ish.
What is America's destiny? What is best for our nation, our people? What is just, true justice? We have to think about all these things. together as a people. To contemplate our future, to live up to our dream, we must have vision. We as a people will revive our nation's commitment to faith, to what our Constitution calls the free exercise of religion, including, of course, prayer. Through prayer, faith can be restored. We as a people are called to a greater purpose than ourselves. We are not only a beacon to the world, but we should be servants to each other, to encourage each other, to help each other, to lift up each other, our fellow Americans, that we may all prosper together. We have to act on faith with the sure knowledge that we are pursuing the right goals and doing the right things. We will build a stronger country by building stronger families. Families are the building blocks of society, of a nation. By turning to faith, we will be the kind of nation, the kind of people God intends us to be.
I think he makes like one or two good points, but he's such a fucking clown.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, but I don't think it's a troll.
Wait, I don't
think it's a
is
troll.
That real?
No, it's real.
No,
it's
dude,
very
he said
real.
if you look on his fucking Twitter, like
no, it's not a troll, Lucas. This is not a joke.
How is that not a troll?
Yo, look at
fucking
this, yo. Friends writing me in. Like, dude, he got people, but I mean, obviously, it's not going to amount to
didn't
anything.
Harambe have like 12,000 people vote for him in the election 4 years ago?
Yeah, literally. But at this,
What
dude,
a country
it's
we
like,
live in, huh?
Yeah, dude, I fucking
for
hate
a
him.
dead gorilla. But yo, you know what I'm saying? It's like I think like if that was just like some like cultural or like society message, like it's great. You know what I mean? But like the fact that was like his presidential like fucking video and
prayer.
I'm like,
no, but I don't think it's great.
Right?
Like he's literally
Church.
like no
random
I mean,
satellite
dude,
in the video. I'm like, what is your
my favorite? No, my favorite was just the
bro.
panning over water as if it's like Jesus walking on water.
Yeah.
It's like
our in the name of our Lord or whatever he said. It's like, dude, do you realize that not
I didn't even think that
everyone
he was
is a Catholic?
Is Kanye a religious person?
Yes.
Yeah, super, bro. You never seen
You've
like
been very
Sunday
like
services
removed
and stuff?
from the conversation here, I guess. Dude, he's been having rallies that are like somewhat like they're like I don't know, like born again virgin rallies essentially for millions of people. But
wait.
like putting on these like mini concert / rallies in the name of Christianity.
Oh, fucking Kanye, man. What a piece of shit. Fuck him.
But I mean, like, all right, his points about like families and like stronger families, like, cool. Like, I agree. I think that's really important. Like, we're getting away from. I think that's something that is a problem. But at the same time, like, that's one point that he made out of the entire fucking video, and the rest was like, "Hail Jesus, our Lord and Savior."
Wait,
so what are you so intense?
I got another one for you, Lucas.
Oh no, I can't.
It was, I think this is the video where he's like, oh, just play it. And if
share your screen and play it.
I'm going to. I'm trying to pause the fucking video and it's not pausing.
Oh, dude, what are we allowed to show and not on this?
I think people watch our fucking videos.
Yeah. And as long as you're making, comments. All right.
Wait, what did he just say? What did he just say?
Harriet Tubman never was like
she didn't free the slaves.
A crucial role in like the Underground Railroad. Never really helped free the slaves. She just moved them to work for other white women. And like I don't know if it's this video or like whatever the other one I saw of it, but like obviously you see like the crowd says nothing. And like you literally hear some lady say, "What the fuck?"
Well, you just hear everyone. You hear everyone go like. You hear everyone go like,
"Yeah,
you can't say that."
Yeah, bro.
Like, what do you mean?
I can only imagine it gets worse.
Oh, no.
That's like to the point where I saw like that was like a TikTok clip or like an Instagram clip or something like that. But yeah, watch the rest of it, bro. I want to hear what he says.
gonna have this baby. I said, we're gonna have this child. I know people that are 50 years old that didn't have the children, that didn't have that child, that have never got to experience the level of joy that I experienced in having a child. But even if my wife were to divorce me after this speech, she brought North into the world, even when I didn't want to.
Even when I didn't want to. He's talking about his daughter.
My mom saved my life. My dad wanted to abort me. My mom saved my life. There would have been no Kanye West because my dad was too busy.
All right.
He's a psycho,
Sorry,
bro.
I can't.
But can
He's
we just
literally
you want to talk about how crazy he is?
absolutely insane.
Dude, he's talking about how he's like, there would have been no
Absolutely
Kanye West because my dad wanted to abort me. And he goes, yeah, Kim had our kid, even though I didn't want to have it.
Yeah. You're
Bro,
saying you're just as
That's a systemic problem, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, that's pretty fucked up. I'm not
There
gonna,
would have been
Kanye,
no
you
Northwest
people should have
without
known
Kim
not to do that.
Kardashian.
How, dude, he's a fucking psycho.
Dude,
Like,
when he goes on those crazy Twitter rants, I'm just like my guy.
Dude, but some of the best tweets ever come out of those. Like, I don't have a manager anymore. I can't be managed. Like, just like random shit.
That.
Like,
Wasn't there something about him like endorsing Trump? Or he said something about Trump, and like Trump retweeted being like, "You go, Kanye," or like, "That's my guy."
Yeah,
Kanye.
there's been so many tweets over the years.
I'm pretty sure he is like diagnosed with like bipolar.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Bipolar or like multi. What I don't know. He's just a fucking lunatic.
Dude,
Wait,
he's a
this is
savage. But I love, bro, on long car rides, I bump the Kanye probably more frequently than anyone else. It's wild.
Yeah, well, like,
wait, this is it. Kanye tweeted, "You don't have to agree with Trump, but the mob can't make me not love him. We're both dragon energy. He is my brother. I love everyone. I don't agree with everything anyone does. That's what makes us individuals. And we have the right to independent thought." And then Donald Trump like responds saying, "Thank you, Kanye. Very cool."
You got like the black fist up emoji with it.
Yeah. It's like taking a knee. Like, oh my god.
Dude, imagine this dude as our president. I mean, dude.
Bro,
it's like not out of the realm, you know? It's like very low
and like decides like we have to change something and like goes on like rants, and you're like, okay, well, all of a sudden the entire country is armed and ready to fucking bulldoze someone out of the world.
Bro, I feel like it wouldn't even be like, I feel like his like waking up one day and like changing shit wouldn't even be anything about like the major political like divisions. It'd be like the most randomest fucking shit, you know?
Corn can no longer be eaten. Like,
it would be something like that, though. It totally fucking.
We have to abolish the trade of corn. Like,
yeah. What a guy! What a fucking guy, Kanye West.
All right, Shane, what do you have?
Not in the same fucking fashion, but I saw this article. This is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Like, I've been seeing on like Twitter and Instagram and shit like that, and everybody's like, this happened. It's not exact. I don't know if it's still going on, but like all the wildfires in California, and everybody's like, literally everyone is like, climate change. We need to fix this. It's all climate change. And like, it's just like, it's one of those things that just keeps like bubbling up. And like, I don't like to talk about things like this a lot, because it's like, it just like ruffles some feathers, but like, we know for a fact, and like, I have like, there's an article written about it that has data that real. Like, it's not, no, that wildfires in California are a result of the government in California not properly managing the forest, and has absolutely nothing to do with climate change. Maybe a small portion of it has a bit to do with a warming climate, but at least 99% of the issues are a result of the government, the way of governing the forests in California. And like, there's this stat that, all right, so this is a hell of a stat. So basically what they're saying is that you have to do controlled burns of the forests if you don't want to have wildfires. Like, there's no other option. Like, people have been doing this, like Native Americans were doing it for like years and years and years. And this stat is pretty fucking crazy. It says, I feel that academics believe that between 4.4 and 11.8 million acres were burned each year in prehistoric California. Between 1982 and 1998, California's agency land managers burnt on average 30,000 acres a year. Between 1999 and 2017, that number dropped to an annual 13,000 acres. So between 1999 and 2017, there was an annual 13,000 acres burned. And each year in prehistoric California, there was 4.4 million acres burned to 11.8 million acres burned. So that's literally an order like
California. You have to understand is like not, there's not houses everywhere. You can't do that anymore.
Of course, yeah, of course. But when you're thinking about forests, like you think about 13,000 acres, dude, that's not a lot of land at all.
Wait. Can I guess the name of this URL? Is it WTF happened in California in 1999? Or
no, it's on Marginal Revolution, which is a popular publication.
Marginal Revolution.
Yeah, it's literally
so it went from
written by
it went from 4 million acres burned to 13,000 acres burned.
Yeah.
So,
but as
academics believe between
burn, which is 4.4 million between 4.4 million to controlled burns of like 13,000 to like whatever 30 something thousand.
An annual of 13,000 acres the last 20 years. So they're saying like in every single year in prehistoric California, up to 11 million acres burned in California, just annually. 11 million acres were lit on fire annually.
How big is an acre? Like, doesn't 11 million acres sound like it would be the whole entire United States?
I think
and they're burning 11 million.
No, but it's a shit. I mean, dude, California is massive. Like the forests in Northern California are fucking massive.
An acre is, I think, like 3 football fields by 3 football fields.
That's all. So 11 million of those they're burning a year, and there's still forest.
Up to. So it's controlled burns is the idea is that you're burning the brush, like all of the shit that's dying and falling over. Like if you go into like the forests in fucking California, there's a shit ton of small brush and branches and dead fucking logs, and it's super dry because California is dry. But like at the same time, maybe climate change is making it a little bit worse. But like, dude, it's very obvious that basically there's no more, they're not allowing controlled burns to happen because the people who are in charge of doing these controlled burns, they get in trouble. Basically what this article goes on to say is that the people who are like responsible for managing the land, if they do a controlled burn and it goes a little bit awry, and like now with so much shit, like there's such a high probability of a bad thing happening with so much extra brush. But if it goes awry, it's all their fault. Whereas if they don't burn anything, they don't get in trouble at all. Like they're not.
So by the way, an acre is about like 210 feet by 210 feet.
So it's a lot smaller than.
Yeah, I was wrong.
No. That's not true.
It is. An acre is 200 square feet. Wait, how many? I'm just trying to figure out how many acres did that gender reveal party end up burning?
That's the one that started like the campfire party.
There was a gender reveal party this year that burned like, I'm pretty sure it was like.
Dude, an acre is 43,000 square feet.
Yeah, so 200 by 200.
Zinger.
Yeah. About.
That's why I said fuck you. That's why I said 210.
Oh yeah, about.
I knew Shane would come here with his calculator, like this is not true.
Yeah. Wow, that's not that big though.
But dude, if you actually think about it, like, dude, all right, so 43,000 square feet, 1 acre. So they're burning 10,000 acres each year annually for the past 20 years. Like that's
10,000 acres. So that's 200,000 square feet, or 2 million square feet.
No, it's 2 million by 2 million feet, right? So let's divide that by a mile, which is 5,200. So it's 384 miles by 384 miles, which is a fucking insanely big space.
Just burning it down.
Yeah, but what they're saying is that
it's not enough.
The past, there's been constant like controlled burns have been a thing that people do like in order to not have massive wildfires. Like it's known. This problem is like literally the article is like there's multiple articles written that say like we know what needs to be done and you need to do controlled burns, but there's so much like regulation around it, and people saying like, oh no, we shouldn't do that. And then
that's so the 4.4 million is 177,000 miles squared. That seems wrong.
That definitely seems wrong.
That seems incredible.
It's only 1,200. It's only 1,200 miles from Connecticut to Tampa. There's no way it's 100-something thousand.
Yeah, no, that doesn't
it's like
make sense.
10 of the fucking U.S. or 100 of the U.S.'s getting burned.
Yeah, you're right. That's the entire planet on fire.
Yeah, it's controlled though, so it's no big deal. You know, we have this under control.
That's all it means, is that someone is, like, guys, I have this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying, which I didn't know, Shane, I had no idea, is that all these wildfires and forest fires that have been going down, at least in California, are not a result of climate change, but maybe they are to like a slight degree, but the idea is more that there's just they're not properly taking care of the like forests in that area. Like what about Australia? Like in the beginning and at the end of last year.
I think it's the same. So I think that the thing is that Aboriginals as well as like Native Americans did controlled burns, and like they knew this was a thing, and regulatory bodies like governments said you're not allowed to do that anymore because we don't want you burning a ton of land and creating all this smoke and whatever, like, oh, the carbon emissions lead to climate change. But it's like, okay, well, without that, essentially like this was kind of halted and looked at as something that wasn't that important. Like we thought that we could keep wild, like it's kind of the idea of like, we think that we're smarter than we are. Like we think that we can keep wildfires under control. We don't have to do controlled burns. Like that's a stupid tradition that Native Americans or Aboriginals have. Like we don't need to do that. And then like it comes forward and you see why they were doing it.
Well, I mean, that's really interesting. I don't know. I don't have anything to back up. Like
when it comes to climate control, I mean, yeah, climate fucking change. Is it mostly just like the earth is getting hotter, or is it the earth is getting hotter and drier? Or like
the earth is getting hotter, so therefore
so you have more it happens
less humidity?
No, it happens on both sides of things. So in general, climate change can be tied to like the whole idea of global warming, but it's beyond global warming. Our summers are getting more extreme, and so are our winters. It goes both ways, very much so. But the summer is getting hotter, and like in general, like there is a global warming. Like our ice caps are melting, like at a degree that isn't really experienced, at least like in human history. Mm-hmm. But it has more to do with like what greenhouse gases are. They're called greenhouse gases because a greenhouse, like when you have plants in a greenhouse, you have like the glass greenhouse like build, so like heat stays inside that area, like inside the greenhouse. Like when
but it's also humid as a motherfucker in a greenhouse.
Exactly.
So why would that? So it should be getting more humid then.
Yeah, but no. So the idea is less of like the humidity and like the exact 1-to-1 of like what a greenhouse actually is to what greenhouse gases are, and it's more of as there's more greenhouse gas emissions in the world, instead of what normally happens is sunlight hits the ocean and it'll reflect back out, but with greenhouse gases, it creates this greenhouse effect that instead of them bouncing back out, they just reflect back and forth between the ocean and the
like the shield layer of greenhouse gases.
Exactly. So then you end up having like heat trapped within the Earth's atmosphere that normally would have just gone right back out of the atmosphere, like in forms of like the sun's rays.
Uh-huh.
Well, and also like every state and every climate is not the same. So it may be hotter and more humid in the tropics, but in California, that is historically a dry place. It's going to get drier. Like it's going to cause the current climate conditions to be more extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it works on both sides of the spectrum, then like it has to be like not exactly like as cold as like increasing in coldness as it is increasing in heat, because wouldn't it then freeze just as much water?
It's not that extreme. It's not like that, like 1-to-1, but like in certain places, like there are places that have never recorded colder temperatures. Like basically like the climate is kind of awry, but like the general picture is like there is this sense of global warming, and like the idea is like global warming isn't the right term because climate change is more than just the planet heating up. it's simply like the climate is changing, and in a lot of places, like there's just things that haven't happened in like thousands or millions of years that are happening, and like that's why like people, like scientists, like to call it climate change, because although yes, the planet is warming up, and like that's the biggest issue, is like the melting of like polar ice caps, is that there are still places that are dealing with like opposite effects. Like there are places that are dealing with colder winters than ever. Like the Sahara Desert might have never seen like a colder winter than a recent one, you know, shit like that. But it's not,
and more incredible, like storms and things like that are just more
like
erratic and more
storms
extreme.
are becoming 10-year storms, and 1,000-year storms are becoming 100-year storms. So it like throws all these like, you know, like going back to Taleb, it like throws all of like the calculations that people have, like risk analysis, like awry, because like, you know, a Sandy or like a Katrina that would normally be like 100-year storm, because of the heating of the planet, oceans stay warmer, and when oceans are warmer, hurricanes can get more and more like aggressive. You end up having more violent and like really strong hurricanes because of it. So like a Katrina that might not happen every 100, 300, 500 years now can happen every 50 years. So
yeah,
it's just wild.
Yeah, so that is contributing. So the idea is that like, I think that everybody is contributing the forest fires to that effect, when in reality the larger part of it, like, sure, things are getting so basically the idea with climate change is that if the climate is getting drier, that means there's going to be more brush falling on the ground. So instead we need to do more controlled burns, is kind of the idea, rather than less. But in California, like additionally in this article, like you're not like there's a air quality control kind of regulation, and you're not allowed to cause the air quality to go past a certain point with any activity that includes controlled burns. So any sort of burn that's controlled on a larger scale.
It's a regulatory issue, in the sense of like the regulations that are set in place are actually set, like causing failures in the systems that are supposed to keep these fires in line. Like if there was a change in regulation, like there could actually be better management of forest fires in general.
Well, and it's probably so far delayed that like the amount that like maybe we don't need to do the 11 million fucking acres, but we're like so far behind.
Well, now that
I mean, it's going to pass that threshold.
It's like what we talked about with it's like what we talked about with the economy, and like keep printing money and like more and more, instead of like letting it actually crash. Like you build up this debt that you have to pay back eventually. Like we have to pay back the fucking brush in the forest debt, you know, and that's what's happening in the wildfires. Like you let it build up for so long, like you can't just ignore it. Like something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna have a freaking what was it the
gender reveal
where they light off a firework. Like lighting off a firework shouldn't start a massive forest fire. Like, you know, I don't know, but
no, that's true.
I want to see how many acres this fucker burned.
I want to see the video. Can you pull it up, Lucas?
I mean, it's crazy. This guy like had like a legitimate pirate.
Is it the one he like shoots like the thing at like he like shoots like a bow and arrow or something at it?
It's like a big ass, like it's not like a small thing. Like,
can you pull it up?
Here's an image of it. Am I fucking Jamie, bro? What the fuck do you mean? This is.
Well, you're the only one that, or Shane, can you do it?
Are you seeing this screen?
Yeah.
You see this screen right here?
I see your desktop background and your tabs.
Like this. You see like this explosion?
Yes. Yeah.
Like that's how big the explosion was. I don't know if I can find a video. 47,000. Oh no, this is in Arizona in 2017. A gender reveal party started to burn that ended up causing a $47,000 fire, or 47,000 acre fire. You think there's a video of it?
There has to be.
I mean, I saw the video at one point. 7,000 acre El Dorado fire.
80 miles east of Los Angeles, a gender reveal massive blaze that's still burning. You know, those pyrotechnic devices that explode in blue or pink to announce.
That's the way.
That was it. It was that explosion right there.
And what those people saw that happen, they were just like, "Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!" You know what I mean?
Dude, can you look at where it is? It's in dry grass. It's literally sitting in dry grass.
But see, like, I feel like that's also a misconception. Like, that's not a forest. You know what I mean? Like, at least like to my opinion, like
into the forest,
like yeah, but there's probably thousands of acres of just that. You know what I mean? It's not like big trees and canopies and shit like that. It's like fucking like a bunch of fucking what's that shit? Tumbleweed, like dry as fuck. Like that grass is yellow. It's so dead. It's fucking
like you throw a cigarette butt in that and
exactly. Well, dude, but like I just feel like there's like
Yo, what happened
I'm
to
sure
Smokey the Bear?
But there's also very real
need-
forests in California that were burning down, like real
those, yeah, but like those probably caught fire because it gained so much momentum from these fucking dry ass areas. I don't think in like a regular healthy
But dude,
forest
healthy
that's gonna
trees, like
happen.
dude, regardless, like healthy trees in a forest don't like catch fire very easily. Like
I
you need
know.
to have a lot of fucking shit.
You ever
under
try
there
to
like,
burn a
really turn up.
fucking alive tree log, bro?
Yeah,
I
like,
know, bro.
You have to
I
dry
know.
out the whole tree to then light it on
Yeah,
fire.
that's
like,
why people
it takes,
dry their
it has to be
fucking
hot.
logs for like all the
Yeah,
summer
yeah.
except for winter.
It has to be fucking super hot to dry out a tree to then let it light on fire.
That's did it? I think I don't know if it's those people, but some people from like a gender reveal like snafu that caused a fire, they got fined. I think it was like 90 grand or like 190 grand or something like that. Which, like, granted, that's like just deserved, like probably more. But realistically, like a normal person can't pay more than that. But like, imagine like you started this fucking forest fire that burned down like 4,700 acres or 47,000 acres. Like, I wouldn't be able to live it myself. Like,
bro, a fireman died from it, like from the fire that was caused. Yeah.
Yo, I saw a video. It was like crazy. It was like people like evacuating California. This was like maybe like a year or two ago, and it was them driving through like a fucking forest on fire, like the road. And it was like, dude, it was a guy and his dad. He's like, Dad, like, we're not gonna make it. We're not, like, we can't keep doing it. Yo, I was like, holy shit. Like, I would never.
Well, all you just see is red. It's like a red aura and just smoke.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
dude, the commentary, I was like, bro, that's terrifying.
Imagine how hot it must get in that car.
Imagine.
Well, how did the
you ever see the
tires
movie
not melt?
Volcano?
Dude, such a good movie.
So I used to watch it at my grandma's house.
Me
Like, I
too.
must watch it 50 times. Like,
I've seen that movie so many times. When they're like in the subway and shit.
Oh, and it starts popping off, bro. They're flipping fucking fire trucks trying to like divert it and shit. They don't blow. Oh, dude, such a great movie.
I love that movie.
Over my grandma's house.
That's like a great 90s like piece of like horrible movie. Like, we would watch it now and it would ruin it for us probably.
Oh, absolutely.
But like, I look in that movie as, because it was like the whatever tar thing, like the La something's tar, because like that's where it happened, is like California tar pits, La Brea tar pits. So you know how like there's these tar pits in La Brea in Los Angeles that just bubble, and like that was the whole basis of the movie, is like
really
cosmic activity or like volcanic activity, and like that's where like the volcano was.
Okay.
And like, so, but yeah, dude, that movie's so good.
Dude, it's funny, that movie.
What's it called again?
Volcano.
Oh, it is? Okay.
That movie, the TV show Walker, Texas Ranger, and the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze were like the three like types of television we had at my grandmother's house, like growing up. So I've seen every one of those movies, like, and TV shows, like fucking that one.
Me too. I've seen this movie like a ridiculous amount of times. I love this movie.
On the VCR. I've never seen it on DVD.
Dude, this is the movie Speed with fucking, what's his name? I've seen so many times.
Nick Cage?
No, Speed is with who's the guy from The Matrix?
Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've seen that
bomb
movie
on the
before.
Bus. Like they put a bomb on a bus and the bus can't drop below 60 miles an hour.
Oh, dude, I've seen that movie.
It's with Sandra Bullock. It's with Sandra Bullock.
I've never seen it.
It's a fire movie. Yeah, dude.
Yo, have you ever seen the movie Phone Booth before? Where they got
bro,
these are such great fucking
those are like
movies,
amazing movies,
bro.
Like late 90s to early 2000s, where this guy is just stuck in the fucking phone booth.
Dude, the dude's like threatening to. First of all, the dude's got like a sniper to his head. He's like, "I'm gonna tell your wife you cheated on her," and like, unless you do like X, Y, and Z. Now he's like in the SWAT scenario and shit. I'm like, yo, that escalated kind of quickly. Like, just tell her, bro.
Like that, yeah. Like, all right, I cheated. That's fine.
Yeah, so sorry, I did it, bro. What the fuck? Wow, I can't believe all these movies, dude. I'm gonna watch one of them later. I swear to God.
I kind of want to watch Volcano. Shane's burning out here.
So how about this? Talking about watching.
I just don't watch movies.
I can't. Dude, we've watched these movies probably 15 to 18 years ago.
Yeah, like
these are not recent movies we
this
watched.
was like when I was very much a child. Like me and my dad.
Like I said, VCR, bro. So, all right. I came across this statistic. I forgot where. But it was saying, it just kind of like in tangent to like
this
watching
made up
stuff.
statistic.
Yeah, I totally came up with a statistic to make myself sound smart. So it said in Q3 of this year on all streaming services, there was 7.46 billion hours of content watched. And I was like, oh, wow, like that's interesting. That's a lot. Like I never thought of it. But then they broke it down. They said that in a century, there's 876,000 hours. So that in this 3 months of this year, there was over 8,000 centuries worth of videos watched. If you just put them in a fucking line, and I was like, whoa, that is a lot of fucking media.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, like I don't know why that made. I mean, because like what's crazy? Just connecting the dots. It's like, who said it? One of you guys said it on one of the other shows where it was like, we can't fathom a billion, and like granted that like, we kind of shat on that idea, but like, I was like, yeah, 7.6, that's a lot. But when you break it down to like a smaller number, that's 8,000 plus centuries of fucking shit. I'm like, whoa, that's a very big number, right?
Yeah.
That's like endless lifetimes. And it's it's like a million hours.
800,000.
A million minutes or a million seconds is like, I forget what it is. A million seconds is like 32 days or something, or like 80 something days. And then a billion seconds is like 32 years.
It's crazy. It's crazier. Like 80%, 90% of it's on Twitch.
Yeah, it's crazy.
A million seconds is 11 days. A billion seconds is 31 years.
That's wild.
Dude, just think about like what type of fucking like infrastructure Amazon has to be running at Twitch to have that much time being watched without like major interruptions. Like, can you imagine what goes, like, I don't even understand like what goes into building something like that, where you could have that, like something like Zoom, the fact that like
what do you mean?
Like the bandwidth, like managing that many requests, like I can't even imagine how many like little pings to their various servers are going on every, because dude, streaming is like, I'm doing something and instantly it gets sent to you, like constantly back and forth. Like how many fucking requests is that server handling? Like every day or
that's why they limit like the amount of like the streamers like bit rate. It can't go too high so it doesn't overwhelm the servers. It also
is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that they like manage that. I mean, it makes sense. That's not surprising.
It's capped at like some stupid high number. I think it's like 20,000 bits or maybe 200, what something crazy. But and like also it's like for the most part, like unless you make like a highlight or a clip, like your VODs, like your whole VODs, like they only stay for 2 months if you're like a Twitch partner, like the highest of the high.
Really? Those all get erased?
They get erased. So unless you clip it or highlight it, like you can't fucking, well, think about it, like if somebody like
if they have to store that
if they're
video.
8 hours like if the average like professional streamers like like fucking 6 to 8 hours, like that's a lot.
Dude, how many gigabytes is an 8-hour video?
Dude, like a 2-hour video is like 3.
Especially with them, they're streaming on like 1040 whatever, like 40p, like
the video quality that's being recorded is insane. Like imagine it's like 25 gigabytes of video, let's just say. Like,
well, a lot of times I was actually just listening to Dr. Lupo, like he records in 4K, but the highest Twitch allows him to do is like fucking 1280, whatever the fuck's above that. 1440. So like that's why like YouTube videos like look better than like the Twitch streams, even though the Twitch streams look really crisp.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, they can't handle that. Like as big as the company is, like they couldn't handle that.
It doesn't matter. Amount. I don't even think. I mean, it's Amazon, right? You have AWS. Like this is like the biggest processing fucking powerhouse that exists. And like they've decided like this is the limit. Like that's how you know it's like an absurd amount of like this is like the biggest thing that can exist. And like
because with streaming is like is very different than like imagine what it takes to have a live video versus a recorded video. Like a recorded video, it's like all right, we just have to upload it and like hold it and play it for you like on YouTube. But on Twitch, they have to like take it and then get it to you across the fucking across the network instantly. So there's no delay. And at the highest possible rate,
so you can interact with the content.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's fucking absurd. I can't even.
I gotta feed my dog. I'm sorry.
Do your thing. Yo, isn't it? You know what had me wild the other day thinking about it. Like even just like taking it so many dials back, like a fucking digital picture isn't that the craziest concept?
Dude.
Like, I had such a hard time. Like, it was when we were getting our engagement photo shot, and I don't know why. Like, it was just the first time I've seen like a big DSLR in a while, and I'm just like, bro, this like machine is capturing like real life, but it's not like painting it on a piece of paper. It's like it's just capturing it, you know?
You know what's crazy is I like when I was like doing research into how cameras work, because I was like nerding out about like I had a camera and I was like, I want to learn like how it works. Like, dude, I understand why cameras are so expensive. Like when you actually think about like, oh, cameras are stupid expensive, like photographers that spend thousands of dollars on equipment. Like when you actually think about like what they're doing, like there's a lens that's capturing, like you're saying, like capturing real life and imprinting it on a fucking piece of data that is then displayed on a fucking screen and like can say like literally it's like they have these like massive lenses that bring light in at a certain like these lenses like shape the light and bring it in. And then there's these sensors, like these boards of sensors where there's like, imagine like there's like RGB grids and they're so microscopic, but like you can imagine a 4x4 grid.
Yeah.
And basically like I think there's two greens and then one red and one blue or something like that. One of them has two because of the color like ratio.
It's like more prominent.
When the light comes in, there's like a filtering mechanism that like brings the light in, and it literally individual fucking photons are being put into these little each pixel has like multiple of these 4x4 grids. Like I don't even know how many, but a lot. Like each individual pixel has these 4x4 grids. So little pieces of light are filling up these little fucking tiny things that are then saying what color that makes up with how much light gets filled in. Like imagine like balls falling into like 4 cylinders.
Yeah. It's like
cylinders
higher than this one. This is like this blue.
Yeah, and so the filters are like causing them to go into the right spots and they're filling up. And then like 1,000 of those are then saying, hey, this one pixel, because of all this combo, should be fucking this very specific color, like 256-bit color, like whatever, like one value. And then you have tens of thousands of those in a camera. Like,
and it happens instantaneously. It's not like you develop it. It's
no, and that's
boom. Pictures taken, you know, and I can look at that picture right now.
And dude, what's crazy is that you can control a camera like with an actual DSLR, like the whole like aperture speed and like shutter speed essentially is like you can control how long like it starts collecting light, like when you click the button, and then a slow shutter speed is saying that the lens stay. You know when it goes, you click it and it goes click and it like closes and then opens because it's cutting off the light and it's saying, hey, all the light that we just collected, we're going to use that. But if you hold it open longer, you get more light. And so that's why with like longer exposure photos,
you could do like those like ghosty things.
Yeah, where you have more light, like you have light coming in over time. So it like lays over what those colors should be. And that's how you get like long exposure.
Those crazy pictures of like the galaxies and shit, like of the stars.
Those are like yeah.
Like that's like the exposure stays open, so like the light can actually diffuse into the lens.
Yeah, exactly. Like the light, the exposure stays open like super long. And like, yeah, dude, cameras are fucking insane. How like when I started, there's like an article series that I was reading that was super like nerdy on this, but like I was reading it and I was like, oh my God, this is insane. How do people make these fucking things?
Right.
Like,
you want to hear another thing the other day that I was like, how the fuck do people make it? Birth control. And then it made me just think of like pharmaceuticals in general. But like I was talking to Jules about it. And I'm like, how crazy is it that we made a pill like yay big that you take, and how it's like synthesized, it tricks your body into thinking it's pregnant. So then that way it's not like accepting of like its eggs aren't like accepting like sperm, and like your uterus isn't like and like it isn't like accepting of all that. I'm like, bro, like that's some next level shit. Like that is some smart, like that is like kudos. I think people don't get appreciation for like those type, even Advil, like things that fucking like change our like biochemistry or like to some degree. Like that's fucking crazy,
dude. Think about that, and then think about CRISPR, like the fucking gene editing technology. That's literally a programmable bacteria that goes in and fucking manipulates your genes and your DNA.
That's
like
what it is.
Fucking, yeah, it's like it's basically a fucking like I'm pretty sure I may be talking out of my ass here, but like a bacteria that you can fucking set in to interact with specific like parts of your genome. Like it's a gene editing tool, but all it is, it's a fucking molecular thing. Like it's not a fucking computerized thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's a fucking creature.
Wait, are we talking about
yeah.
what's it called? Scraper?
Crispr.
Crispr?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
You know what's funny? We probably think it's like, I mean, granted, like it has to be super like scientific to be able to control that thing, but like once it gets to the genome, it's just like biting chunks out of it, and like that's how
No,
it's,
dude,
like,
you're
changing.
allowed to. No, dude, you can do like CRISPR is so crazy because you can do CRISPR in like a middle school science lab. Like you can fucking run CRISPR experiment. Like it's that cheap and simple. Like it's so insanely complicated and like hard to understand, but it's so simple at the same time. Like what you need to do it, you can do it. Like you can run like small scale. Like you can't do like crazy, like manipulating it to do what you want is like obviously very like there's insane levels of like hierarchy there. But,
Yeah, so
like,
what are you doing
do...
at middle school science fair? While other kids are using their paper mache volcanoes, what are you doing with
No. I'm saying like a teacher could do like a mini like experiment. Essentially, like it's that cost effective. Like it's not like it's some impossible thing to like manufacture or create. Like it's something that's essentially will be at the scale of being able to do it like mini fucking experiments.
I feel like that's sick, but like the average person's gonna get charged some exorbitant rate to like modify their DNA. I don't think it's like gonna be
well, no, to do it successfully.
$5,000.
Well, yeah, oh yeah, it's like, hey, how do you fucking program this thing to modify your DNA to make you like super strong? It's like, okay, well, you try and you do that, and it fucking like causes you to start growing a third leg, and you're like sick, you know? Like, of course, the specific like software idea behind it, like how you make it do the things, like it's not as easy as being like, hey, fucking go do this, you know? Like obviously otherwise we'd have mutant fucking humans already, but it's like the actual just the idea of editing genome at a basic level is something that's possible.
Dude, I started watching My Hero Academia, and like it just makes me what happened?
We were talking about this the other whenever we last spoke. I don't know.
Were we?
Yeah, that you're talking that you got into anime.
I'm just super jealous that like I don't have a quirk and like I don't have a superpower. And like in this society, like 80% of the people are born with them. And I'm just like, oh, bro, if I could tell my parents, if we were in a point where CRISPR was a thing and like it was beyond just like eye color and shit, and I could tell my parents before I was born, like, sign me up, I'm willing to risk it. Like, I so would, dude. Like, are you kidding me? Would I be number 1? Probably not, but maybe number 100. I'd probably give it a shot. I don't know.
100's still low, dude. Give it like one number 1 million, and you'd be fucking mint.
Dude, but then you're old news at that point, bro. I don't want to be just another strong guy. I want to be.
Oh, you want to be an early adopter. You want to be an early adopter. Take the risk.
I want to be. I'm on the fringe, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like before it starts flattening out. You know.
Yeah, I feel that. I get that.
So it says this gene editing kit. It comes with an example experiment that teaches you many molecular biology and gene engineering techniques. If you want to know what CRISPR is all about, the kit includes everything you need to make precision genome edits in bacteria at home, including Cas9, gRNA, and template DNA template for an example experiment. Includes example experiment to make genome mutation K43T to the RPSL gene, changing the 43rd amino acid A lysine to a lysine K to a 309T, thereby allowing the bacteria to survive on strep media, which would normally prevent its growth. This is the fucking kit.
Really cool. That was awesome.
This is the
middle school level.
You can buy.
Can't constrain my my excitement.
Dude, this is a kit you could buy for $170 to fucking edit genes.
What is it? Yeah, but do you even know what it does at this point? Like, do you know?
It literally said if you fucking listen.
It edits this gene to do, but what does that do?
Allowing the bacteria to survive on a strep media, which would normally prevent its growth. So there's a fucking piece of shit. There's this thing that you have when you put this bacteria on it normally it would prevent it from growing because this material doesn't interact with it well. But when you use the fucking CRISPR gene editing kit, you modify the fucking genes of this thing that removes that gene that stops it from growing. So it'll continue to grow on that strip that it previously didn't grow on before.
You lost me. I mean, it's
That's pretty fucking simple.
No, it's cool. I get it. I get it.
But is that groundbreaking?
Well, not like anymore.
You know,
can
Shane,
edit
do you
a
know
fucking-
how, like, is that like the sickest?
You can edit a gene out of a fucking. You could.
But like, I'm not saying like it's not great and all. I'm just saying I don't know enough that it's like, is this sick? Is this something to get excited about? Is this something fucking genetic scientists?
Were you editing genes in high school? Were you editing genes in middle school? Like that was never a topic of conversation.
I went to a fucking private Catholic school. We don't believe in that shit. All right, they're definitely not editing genes at St. John the Evangelist fucking middle school. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's a big no. I didn't pay attention much, but like I don't think that whole playing God thing was like big in their book. You know. All I'm saying is that it's like, to what degree of impressive is that?
Also, just you reading that thing, like my eyes.
So boring. It was so horrible.
Literally, my eyes over.
It was so stupid.
How could you not fucking just like? It sounds like you just didn't weren't able to comprehend what was being said. Not like I said it very eloquently.
No. It just sounds like you don't understand how big or not big of an impact it is, and you're making.
Dude, I think. All right, do you want me to fucking Google how big of an impact is CRISPR?
No. I want you to Google how big of an impact is that $100 fucking experiment. And how hard is it to fucking do?
How hard is it to Google that. Google that. Not from CRISPR. To edit a gene before CRISPR.
Dude, you're fucking such a scumbag with your stupid Google. Like you're such a leading.
What do you want me to say? What? Oh, do you want me to just think of it off the top of my fucking head?
No,
obviously, I don't know.
No. So I think the argument here is that before CRISPR, that whatever that experiment was impossible, but now because of CRISPR, that's like, the ABCs of CRISPR. Like it's just like, oh, here you go. Here's the ability to change a gene of like this like single line of genes, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like what the cutting edge of CRISPR is now is like beyond like what any of the three of us can comprehend. But it is cool that like at like a 7th grade level, you can like be splitting genes and editing them. Which is
like, dude, just going back to like the fucking birth control example. Like,
it's
like saying like, oh, you could grow bacteria in a Petri dish. Like, okay, cool. Like compared to like everything else, like that's not big news. You know what I mean? I wasn't growing bacteria in a Petri dish, but like, or Petri dish, but like, that's not groundbreaking fucking shit, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Growing a bacteria and fucking editing a specific gene out of a bacteria.
I think it's above like your different levels. Bro.
Dude, how does that not sound different? How are you comparing growing a bacteria? Like, all right, you leave a fucking fruit out for 3 days and it starts growing mold. Like,
shut the fuck up.
Dude, you can grow fucking mold by leaving food out on accident. You can't fucking go in and edit a gene of that fucking bacteria.
How are they?
Right. I'm honestly over this conversation.
I'm not. How are they editing it? You tell me this. In this $100 kit, how are they editing the gene of this bacteria?
CRISPR.
Share your screen. I want to see the kit.
All right, I'll fucking share my screen, and we'll go through this We'll go through this conversation. Here we go.
I don't want to go through this fucking kit.
I just read this fucking before. I don't know. I'm not obviously not going to read that again. This is the fucking kit that you get.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
If someone makes it this far in the video, I would be so impressed.
I wouldn't see why they wouldn't.
There.
Yeah, dude. I don't fucking there. It comes with an instruction manual. I don't fuck. All right, here, wait, hold on, wait, really quick.
Listen, all I'm saying is I could be wrong, but like you could also be wrong on how groundbreaking this $170 DNA fucking sequencing kit is. Okay, I think
I'm not saying the fucking. I'm not saying the DNA
in 6th grade.
All right, I'm not saying the fucking DNA sequencing kit is fucking breakthrough. I'm saying the ability to edit genes in your own home to edit any bacteria's gene is pretty fucking insane. The fact that you could do that with a $170 kit, like that's just showing.
Sure, it's cool.
Okay, That's not saying the technology is that level of groundbreaking. Like,
I think it's cool, bro.
Why are you sharing your screen?
I think comparatively, like having an iPhone is just as cool as like when the
Shane.
internet first came around. That
Shane.
like we could have the capabilities in our hand instead of just on like one massive supercomputer.
Something I realized, when we're sharing our screens, if you're just going to share text that you're going to read out loud, you might as well just not share your screen because.
Dude, I was asked to share my screen, so
I like sharing the screen, dude. If you think about it, like when you're talking about something as fucking boring as this, at least it's a visual. You know? At least it's something.
Either fucking way. All right. Well, all right.
Isn't there a way you could get a fourth screen? Like, just
can you just fucking read it, Shane? Come on.
Dude, why am I going to read this to you? I was just talking. I had my screen shared, but I guess like I'll fucking just start reading.
I don't want to read
that I pulled up on
whatever.
Google.
Just get out of here. I lost my interest.
Stop sharing your screen.
All right, wait,
I was arguing.
I'm gonna find a stat just to make Joey look like a fucking asshole.
Good.
That's what I'm gonna spend.
Come back next week with the stat.
I'm gonna spend the rest of the video.
Joey,
I'm gonna spend the rest of the video finding a stat that just makes Joey sound.
Thank you. Yeah, there you go. Can you also kick him off screen share? Can you just? There we go. Beautiful.
Dude, you can't fucking just mute me like that. Give me host back. How the fuck? This is my own Zoom. How can't I take host back?
Take him out of the video.
Wait, how can I not just take host back when it's my fucking Zoom?
You gave it up.
I'm out of beer and I need a beer.
Yeah, but I can't like turn your Zoom off. Like it's like. That's fucking crazy. I'm like, yo, I'm fucking paying for this shit. You can change my name. What?
Change my name.
I can't.
I know.
What is your name? Oh, bitch boy who doesn't know shit. There it is.
All right, I'm gonna grab a beer real quick.
Wait, I don't have.
Wait.
Hold on.
Don't go, Joey.
No. We should just end the episode here.
I know. I think
so
like,
wait,
too. Did you hear what I said before we were on this conversation? Like,
no, I didn't.
When I was lagging like crazy and I was like, having sex with the same person multiple times leads to nothing but either a relationship or a tragic fucking ending.
You're not wrong about that, but it's fine. Right now it's working.
You have to realize that the whole idea of like hooking up with girls and not wanting a relationship with them at all, like you can't just have sex again and again and again and again and expect nobody to ever catch feeling. Like do it like a few times, but like stop. Like, and you won't just end up in a relationship.
So here's the test. You tell her you hooked up with another chick, and if she don't give a fuck, you're still on the same grounds. If she gets upset, you're getting into dangerous territory.
No. I did this.
I told her that I went on a date with someone else when we were together.
And what'd she say? Good for you. How'd it go?
Yeah. And then we hooked up the next day. So she came over the next day.
Yeah, she probably
she's
I'm gonna fuck you to make sure that you're fucking.
She's madly in love with you. Yeah.
It's crazy. I told her I was hooking up with another chick. I got the fucking best 30-minute blowjob of my life. She's like, I'll show you why you're sticking around.
30 seconds, dude. Come on.
Nah, bro. I think that we should end here, but like, are you guys?
Well, everybody, this is the end of the video here. So, come back next week when we talk about random shit again.
Yep, exactly.